Thank you for Patreon now for donating to the Patreon.
Hey guys, it's Vanity Ezel back in the Card Fight Vanguard Ezel and Vanity weekly review. So if you guys enjoyed, don't like, comment, subscribe, and let's watch the hobby. This time we're covering some more set 12 reveals, and we also have some nice stuff from the collaboration again from Bushy, because apparently collabs are in this season. I don't know why. So let's go ahead and get this started, shall we, and see what we got. First up today, we have Unfathomable Juggler, grade 2 SF 5k shield, 10k base for dark states. Continues rear guard. If a rear guard is put into your soul by the ability of Vanguard during this turn, you get plus 10k power. Okay, works pretty solid for Barrel Magnus because it increases numbers. I don't remember Chaos being able to send something to soul. I know none of the Bruces can send anything to soul. No, Unica can't send stuff to soul, neither can Jeweled, or at least from rear guard. So far we only have one grade 3 that can pull this off, but it's now occurring to me that we're getting another grade 3 for Dark States in the set whose name eludes me, but it's the one that Hanana or Hawano, whatever her name is, the girl in white from Will just uses. So there's a chance this could benefit that too, 3 of, I guess, because it could actually be solid depending on what that grade 3 does. In Barrel, it's not really useful, but maybe for that grade 3. Then we have Decoration Razor Angel, grade 1 boost, 5k shield, 5k base, auto rear guard. When your other unit in the same column as this unit attacks, that unit gets plus 5k power to the battle. All around, pretty solid, you know. Gets an extra 5k. It's not a hard once per turn, meaning, you know, every single time you boost, it's just going to keep getting 5 more k each time to the front row unit. So, you know, the best part about this is that even though yes, this is still in the battle, that means you have a consistent way to continuously boost, quote unquote, less. You're not really gaining power off the boosting, but I mean, you're not losing power either. So yeah, it's a nice solid like 3 of. Also, a grade 3 just came to mind for, a grade 3 came to mind for me on this one, and it was Barfometus, the promo grade 3, so that could also be the thing it's useful for. Anyways, well, I guess this is for the ability, not the cost. Different things. Anyways, Quintessential Quintuplets. We're starting off with the crossover cards. Grade 0 boost 5k shield, 6k base. Auto wrote upon by a grade 1 Quintuplets card. If you went second, draw a card. It's just a free draw if you went second. There's nothing more I can say about it, and it has all 5 of them here. I cannot tell you who any of these are because I don't even know what this is, but I can assume there's 5 sisters. That's all I can tell you. Then we have Memories of the Quintuplets-Crest because we're not tired of Crest yet. So I will say that is a beautiful picture. I honestly kind of like this. If this comes to English, I might just pick this up just for the sake of what it looks like, because it looks so clean, like with the text over it, then the background, and then the photo. That honestly looks cool. Anyways, continues, you cannot ride cards other than quintuplets, and your order zone is treated as a memory. Okay, and then continues when your card without quintuplets and is put into your order zone, put into the drop zone instead. So just a massive FU if you try to place anything that isn't a quintuplets card into the order zone, okay? And then act once per turn. Soul Blast 1, the top card of your deck, equal to your Vanguard's grade. Choose up to 1 quintuplets from among them, place it into your memory, and then put the rest on the bottom deck in any order. And if you placed a unit card with the same card name as a card in your memory, you may call the card to rear guard instead. So basically, Soul Blast 1, let's just say you're on a grade 3 quintuplets, top 3 it, put a card from among them into the order zone, send the rest to bottom, and then if that card already was in your order zone, you can call it to rear guard instead. Okay, pretty nice. You know, as you can guess, as the game goes on, you want to quickly stack up all the different names you can into the order zone. So then, when at some point during your main phase, when you do this, you can just consistently get a free call for a Soul Blast. Oh, I'm pretty solid. And again, I do like its art. I think it's great. And finally, after Token Remember, I can finally understand something again. So nice crest, I guess. Then we have After the School Festival Ichika Nanako, grade 1 boost, 5k shield, aka base. Auto when it's placed upon Quintessential Quintuplets. I'm going to butcher that name from now on. Gain of memories of the Quintuplets-Crest. Why did it have to be 5 of them? Why did it have to be 5? I can't say quintuplets. The one word I can't say. And then continuous guard circle. If you have 3 or more different named quintuplets in your memory, this unit gives 5k shield. Cool. 10k shield, nice to have, and it's the free crest on on place. There's nothing more I can say about it. Take that as you will. But it does have a skill that would be useful in main deck. So depending on how much space we have, I could actually see you running this for free 10k shield. So 2 of possibly in the main deck. Then we have Returning from America, Ichika Nakano. Is it just me, or whenever they read, there's anyone else here when they read Returning from America, they just remembered the scene that Noboru from Buddy Fight returned from America to Japan, and his first thing was like, I'll be back, and his friends kind of quoted him on that, or like berated him for basically getting how it was wrong. Point is, I don't know why that was the first thing that went to my mind. Anyways, grade 10 stuff, 5k shield, 10k base. Auto when placed upon by riding from a grade 1 quintuplets, look at the top 7 cards of your deck, choose to 1 quintuplets from from among them, place it into your memory and shuffle your deck. Cool, so free way to get a quintuplets in there. Also, it's not restricted to any grade 1 quintuplets you wrote upon. It's just it's literally just any of them. So if you ever make another one that gets this skill, you can do it again. And then it continues rearguard during your turn. If your opponent's rearguard was retired during this turn, this unit gets 5k power, and if you have 5 or more different named quintuplets in your memory, it gets a 10k instead of 5k. Cool. It can possibly be a 20k swinger, and not to mention the fact that it just benefits from your opponent losing a rearguard. Doesn't matter if it's by battle or effects. Interesting that so far we have no remnants of killing rearguards, and then this thing is like the first one that suggests it, but whatever. Cool. Gets numbers, I guess. I am now realizing these are from the nations of Dragon Empire. I know they're going to have alternate nations. I don't know why I didn't just pick up on that sooner, but yeah, cool. Take that as your possible main deck too of, just because, again, free 10k. Then we have Quintessential Quintuplets Ichika Nakano. I'm going to struggle this entire time of reveals, and I know it. Grade 3, 200% 13k base. Auto and placed on Vanguard Circle, the top 7 cards of your deck. You have to 2 quintuplets from among them. Reveal them to your opponent, add 1 into your hand, place the other into the memory, and shuffle your deck. Cool, so if they ever make a quintuplets PG, they probably will. That's a free PG to hand. And then contains Vanguard. If you have 6 or more different named quintuplets in your memory, when your opponent would call cards from the hand to guard circle, then call 2 more at the same time. Cool. So we're know we're at least going to get 6 of them, and that's a way to force out 2 cards, which is nice. And then Auto Vanguard. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, by counterblasting, when you choose one of your opponent's rear guards, kill it. And then choose one of your quintuplet rear guards until end of turn, increase that unit, and this unit is powered by the power of the retired unit. And then if you do not retire, this power increases 10k instead. So either you get rid of a pesky rear guard and get power equal to, like, say, for example, you kill Trick Moon, this and any other quintuplets rear guard will get 5k power, or if you don't kill something, it is a mandatory you pick something, but if they don't have anything to kill because maybe your opponent just didn't give you rear guards, that's just a free 10k to 2 units. See, the best part about this is, too, none of its skill restricts your opponent to being a grade 3. So if you manage to do it on first grade 3 turn, you can pump up this unit and any other unit, just for the sake of example, we'll say this unit by 10k power, and then you can just use this ability to guard restrict them. I can see this deck running 8 crits, and the second Bushy opens up the floodgate to allow you to run any amount of triggers over the copies of 8 again, unlike but back before set 2. Yeah, I can see the deck running 16 crits if it came down to it, because I know what 16 crits feels like being on the receiving end of. It's not fun, especially when it's King Musketeers. Then we have Memories of the School Festival, Ichika Nanako. Grade 3, normal order, quintuplets. You may play this card if you have Vanguard with Quintessential Quintuplets, Ichika Nanako. If your Vanguard is that specifically. You have to 2 quintuplets with the same name from your drop zone. Place 1 onto the bottom, place the other into the memory. And then if you chose one or more cards, perform the following based on how many different quintuplets are in your memory. 3 or more, choose an opponent's rear guards, retire it. If you don't retire something, get a draw. Cool. And then 5 or more, countercharge 1. 7 or more, choose one of your Vanguards, and it gets stunned to battle. During the battle that this unit attacks, your opponent cannot call summons from hand guard circle. And they cannot play blitz orders. Okay, like I said, 16 crit, you play it while you're on this thing, and then the second it swings as a 23k, your opponent cannot sentinel it, they cannot blitz order it, and they have to drop at least 2 cards on it. The second Bushy opens that floodgate up, I can already see where this chaos will go, and I know I have to be on the receiving end of it. Either way, though, all around pretty solid, you know, gets a counter charge, gets a draw, it literally does all of this for free, and it puts something back to deck, prevents you from decking out, and it sets up your order zone. There is not much more I can say about this, and you are crazy not to run at least 3 of these, but in my opinion, it's a 4 of. Then we have Incognito Actress Ichika Nanako, or Nakano. I'm gonna keep going Nanako, because my mind immediately, when I see the word na, it goes na again. Anyways, grid 1 boost, 5k shield, 8k base. Auto in place during your main phase. If your Vanguard is a quintuplet, look at the top 3 cards of your deck. 2 up to 1 quintuplets from among them, place into your memory and shuffle your deck, and then continues rear guard. If you have 3 more different quintuplets in your memory, it gets plus 2k power. Okay, not horrible. To be fair, I find it weird that they gave this ability to this card, the 2k skill, when normally they give it to the ride line grade 1. I'm really glad to see Bushy admits that they've come farther than from just giving something 2k, but for the Vanguard skill at least. But all around pretty solid, you know, has to be placed during main phase on the rear guard circle as the card evidates and not the text to get a top search, but that's still pretty solid because it's a free search and can set up your memory, and then also again being a 10k booster is not the worst thing, not the best thing in the world, but I mean this search more or less makes up for it, so at least a 3 of, if not a 4 of. Then we have Ijiwaru Love, Ichika Nakano, grade 2 intercept 5k shield, 10k base, all doing placed on rearguard circle. If your Vanguard is a Quintessential, I'm not going to try saying that word again, quintuplets, Ichika Nanako, counter boss 1, to place one of your quintuplets from your drop zone to the bottom of the deck, choose one of your opponent's rearguards, retire it, and if you have 5 more different named quintuplets in your memory, draw a card. Cool! So, recycle more things. The only other card I've seen so far outside of this that costs an actual counterblast, and you get a kill and a draw. So far, the only cards I've seen in this deck that have cost is this one, and the Crest. And the Crest seems to be the only card in this deck so far that has Soul Blast, meaning you can spam that literally every chance you want. And this one are just going to be fighting for counterboss dominance, but I mean, this kind of fixes it, so take that as you will. 4 of, I guess, or 3 of, one of the two. Then we have Fierce Dragon Firing Rex. Okay, this thing looks beautiful, and I hate its skill. Great Own Boost, 5k Shield, 8k Base, Auto Rearguard when it boosts anything. If your Vanguard has critical 2 or more combos, one draw a card. Okay, so you do not have to boost a Vanguard that has double critical to get that draw. It just has to boost anything, and at the time of that boost, your Vanguard has to have double crit to get the draw. Why does your Vanguard have to be double crit to get that draw? Is it just because Tribass exists? You know, that's what they should do. When they make a Dino line, that's what they should do. They should, because, like, they alternate, more or less, between, like, giving units an inherent extra crit for the counter heals and just having restanders. We have a lot more restanders than we have extra critical givers. The next ride lane they make for Dragon Empire should be a Dino line that just gets crits, so A, I can abuse the fuck out of Tribash and not question my logic on this by running Dinos, but B, just because this will be more useful, because I think that would actually be really fun. And we can finally get the love Tachis deserve, because we all know Zero died without fucking Tachis. Because Bushy just didn't like game Tachis. Oh yeah, also, by the way, to anyone that celebrates, a happy 4th of July. I know the day I'm recording this is the day beforehand, but I remember that it's 4th of July, and I normally forget these type of things, so happy 4th of July. And anyways, that's the thing. Then move on to Drag Ritter Bathura, grade 2 intercept 5k shield, 10k base. Auto, when discarded from your hand during your battle phase, put this card into your soul, choose an opponent's rear guard on the back row, kill it. Cool. So it has a, like, granted you can't use it during your ride deck turn, but I mean, has a battle phase skill. When you drop it, you just get a free soul charge and kill something. It's not bad. I can't think of anything off the top of my head that happens to discard during the battle phase except for restanders like Overlord. But I mean, you know, hey, Bushy, remember what I said about 5 seconds ago about the Dino line? Maybe make it a skill that incorporates this, or just make a Dino line in general. Any Tachi player will appreciate it because you did us dirty in Zero. I don't know why I'm acting like I'm a Tachi player. I'm not, but I know I was looking forward to playing Gaia, and I was done dirty with that one, but whatever. Then we have Red Treasure Beast Garnet, grade 1 boost, 5k shield, 8k base, auto when placed on rear guard or guard circle, put a total of 2 cards originally in your ride deck from your soul or drop them back into the ride deck face up. Okay, so we're finally getting a skill that auto sends stuff to ride deck specifically, and perform the following based on where this unit was placed. If it was on rear guard, you draw a card into battle. If it was a guard circle, it was 15k, put 15k shield. Okay, technically, you don't need more than 2 of these. Because to my knowledge of right now, there's no way in hell to get the ride deck cards out of the ride deck outside of riding them. And basically you only have 2 uses of this because it requires 2 specific cards at the same time. So you're going to have your grade 0 and your grade 1, and then once you persona ride, you're going to have your grade 3 and your grade 2. So you've got a total of 4, but in that case you mean you have a total of 2 chances. So if you run this more than 2 of, you run it just to see it more often, but you're only ever going to use its skill twice per game. But it's nice that it has an alternate use where either there's a 20k shield, which is fucking nice, or it's a free draw. Either way, it's a very nice grade 1, and I like its art. I wish there was more use of it, but considering it only has 2 uses per game, it's honestly, it's like 2 of 3 of it, and you only run that 3rd one just to see it more often, and that's pretty much it. Then we have Recycling Cleanup at Midnight. My god, how I wish this was a card that actually supported the Cleaning Sisters, because Recycling Cleanup, you tell me that's not going to be for the 3 Cleaning Sisters, and it's not anyways. Grade 1 normal order, look at the same number of cards from the top of your deck as the number of set orders in your order zone, choose 1 card from them, bind it face down, shuffle your deck, at the end of the turn put the bound card by this effect to your hand. Okay, so you know, it gets searches off, it's a free possible PG to hand or Persona Ride or any real unit that you want, which is nice. But I don't know. Again, I feel like this could have been a 3 Queenie Sister support, especially because I don't know. Bushy just seems to like scrap their other ride lines for crossover things, not hitting on the crossover cards at all. I'm just saying. But yeah, I mean these 3 look unique though and cute. So I would like to see some ride lines of this. This looks like a Nidoking, honestly, to me. I don't know why this thing looks so familiar, but it does. This thing looks like a Nidoking, and this also looks familiar, but I don't know what it looks familiar from. And finally, we have Red Riding Hooded Seal, Great On Boost, Fat Case Shield, AK Base. Auto, when it's placed on rear guard circle, discard the top 2 cards of your deck, and this uses 2k power front of turn. Okay, cool. Works in Zorga. It is okay-ish for other decks if they have any ways to call stuff back. I mean, it's still okay. They have ways to call anything back because Spiritual Body Condensation is such a niche card. But I mean, either way, it's a nice grade 1 because, you know, again, mills 2 cards, gets the 2k. I think this could be really useful for Roro to help Relinas get into drop zone, then use whatever that Hunter card was to fetch it out. But I mean, if only he went to Soul, then he'd be more useful. But we'll take what we can get. So he's a nice 2 of tech, I guess. Not amazing, but he's a 2 of tech. Next up, we have Exhilarating Knight Nodonsu, Great On Boost, 5k Shield, AK Base, Auto, and placed on rear guard circle. If you have 3 more Jigoshi markers, counterboss want to draw a card. Okay, we've gotten these cards back in set, I think it was 10, yeah, set 10. So it's really, weirdly enough, as much as I hated these in set 10, it's refreshing seeing them again. Because this thing, I don't know why, it looks like a younger brother version of Caribre to me, and I don't know why, like, when it first got revealed, I was like, this makes sense, and that might also be because I think it's flavor text translated, at least according to the Discord. It's flavor text translated with something like, blah blah blah, results is everything, etc. I don't know why my mind immediately went to, yeah, this is a Youthberg card 100%, even though I don't think Youthberg is getting a mass. But if they did, and that is actually what its text translates to, whew, that's going to be fun to play around with. But it's a nice option. I am curious to see, though, what our Keter Sanctuary Drago Tree is going to be, because presumably we're going to get one. So we'll see. I wish it was the thing that Holland used, because I put my money on that. But I mean, you get what you get.